Hey folks, it's Dr. Groovy, Scott Grove from GroovyMusicLessons.com. Here today with the old Epiphone ES-295. Ta-da! The Scotty Moore model from back in the Elvis days. It's like the 1952 reissue. Okay. What I'm going to show you today is a couple takeoffs of the old blues turnaround thing. That old thing, okay? Of course I'll show you that. That's a quickie and most people know that. But I'm going to show you two variations of that, which chromatically, for the most part, keep descending. Okay, so you'll have your choice of three different ones, or you could put the two that I'm going to show you beyond that one together in double time and make it really cool. And you can, of course, use it in any key you want. Then I got a couple other really cool licks I'm going to show you as well that I've never shown you before. It's very cool. I actually did a country ripoff of Led Zeppelin's Whole Lotta Love that is, it's interesting, it's cool. So I'll check you as soon as I flip this camera around, alright? Okay, here, we're back. And, oh, I see my big E, that stands for Elvis. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Says Epiphone, but the E always stands for Elvis. Okay, that's a big Scotty Moore lick. I'm sure you probably already know it. Okay, I know. For you who had the headphones on, thanks, dude. Anyway, like I said, we're going to take that thing and change it up. For those who don't know it, and there's going to be some, it's going to be like this. Your first finger and your second finger. That's right, these two. We're going to skip over the B string, just play on the G and the E strings, and we're in the key of E. Okay, we're going to stay in the key of E for most of this entire lesson. I'm going to take what I'm going to show you after this, keep it in E, then I'll throw it in A as well to show you how to take it from one key and put it in another key, blah, 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 and what to look for. Okay, so anyway, this thing, okay, I like to slide going up. Let's show you the little part first. We're going to go from the 4th fret on the G, 4th fret on the E. Okay, we're going to play the G, then the E, G, okay, that's what's called chromatically down. It's 1 fret at a time. So we're going to go G string, E string, G string, move it down to the 3 and 3, G string, E string, G string, move it down again, G string, E string, G string. Okay, so let's do that much. Now we actually do a hammer on the open G to the 1st fret. Okay? And then open E. So you have. And if you want to do the little ba-da-da, is just simply easiest way is on the A string. Okay? Just open A, 1, 2 frets. So you have. Okay, now if you're planning on doing that, we're not going to hit the high E string because there's not enough time for that. So it's like. Then back to E. Okay, so you heard at the beginning me doing a slide up to it. Okay, do whichever fingers make sense to you. Doesn't actually matter as long as you're not hitting that B string. I slide from 2 and 2. I go. Okay, so I hit the G string and slide up to 4. And I generally would like to do that most of the time. Sometimes I do it very much like the first one I showed you, just to be authentic. Okay, a lot of times I'll just do it that way, but this way here with the hammer on, you just got to get used to that if you haven't. I find it easy to do with my middle finger, so maybe try that. Whatever works for you. So it's a hammer on and a pull off. Hammer on means simply hammer the finger on there. Pull off means you're actually taking it, pulling it off, and that acts like a pick. Okay, because when we hammer it on and when we pull it off, we're not using the guitar pick down here. Okay? So you just heard like 2.5 hammer-ons and pull-offs going there. Okay? So that's what we have there. Okay. Now, from that, there is an old way of doing the same type of thing. And that's what got me to wanting to show you this today. We're going to take it way on up high, and what we're going to work on is a 7th chord, which if you are, first of all, let's get it here to make it easy to see first. If you take your D chord, move it upward 2 frets, and make a 7 out of it. So if you take a D7, okay, you move it up 2 frets. Okay, so you're going to end up with, on the 4 and 4, you're going to have your middle finger and your ring finger, but you're going to have your first finger on the 3rd fret on the B string. Okay, so that's what a 7 looks like for the E7. Okay, now you'll notice, again, we need to worry about where that 7th is. What changed? Okay, it was the note that was on the 5th fret on the B string is what changed, and it went back here, okay, to the 3rd fret. So that's what we're going to be looking at. We're going to take it up a whole octave, though, all the way up here. Okay, so we're looking at E being on the 17th fret. You'll be able to tell if it almost is in tune with your other E string. Okay, so that note there, the 17th fret on the B string. Let's go ahead and take your first finger, put it there. And now we know that is an E, because that's the key we're going to be playing in. Now we just need to move that backward 2 frets. Okay, so we're backward 2 frets. Okay, that's going to be the 7th. And then we put our fingers back on just like we did on the E7 when we had it way over here. So we have it here now. So you're actually looking at 16, 15, 16. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is actually just get rid of, you're like, yay, something's going out of the way. Yes, it is. Get rid of your ring finger or your 3rd finger, whatever you want to call it. It's gone now. Okay? I just wanted you to see what it is we're basing this off of. So we're looking at the E7. So now you see how we got there. Okay, it's very important to do that. Now we're going to play it the same way, but we're going to play it on the G string and the B string. And of course, there's no open string in between it to avoid, like there was with the very first thing we did that was on the other end of the guitar, of course. But again, we're back here to 17 and 16. Okay. I'm sorry. We're back here to 16 and 15. On the G and B, make sure you have those 2 notes. Okay? Now we're going to actually make it sound like I said before, like the... Okay, but we're just going to do it by simply going chromatically until we get to the double dots or the 12th fret with that finger. So we're just going to go... Okay? So it's just G string, B string, G string, B string, G string. Okay? That's just down, up for each string. Okay? So down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. Okay? You can hit one finger or two. I like to hit, one string or two. I like to hit two strings. Okay? Now the cool thing about this is, number one, it's way up high, or you can put it right back where we had it. You're like, okay, we had E7 right here. So it's just like if you were playing that E7, but you're getting rid of the high E string, and just same thing. Okay? You can play all the strings on the G, B, and E strings if you want. Okay, so you can go around that away, or you can even take off. Since we're in the key V, it makes it nice that you can do this. Take off that 7th, so you just leave your B string open. So the only thing you're fretting now is your G string. To do the slide again. Okay, you can hit what other strings you want to as far as the G, B, and E string. That was hitting only the E string with it, or that's kind of a weird one, but it sounds great if you had the high E with it. Okay, so it's the same as this up here. Okay, you can do what I'm getting ready to do, which is the whole point of this lesson, is to show you how to go from here Okay, I'm going to keep going down, but I'm going to act like I'm starting a whole new one, okay? So we're going to start here at 13 on the G, 12 on the E, 12 on the B. Don't know where my brain's at today, but it's definitely not here. Okay, so 13 G, 12 on the B. So now we're actually going to do it chromatic down, every single thing, just like we've been doing, okay? But when we get to right here, okay, at the 9th fret, we're going to actually bar across at least the G and the B string. If you want to add anything else in, you can add the D string and cover that one too. Do not hit the high E string unless you want to. Okay, so we're starting from here. Okay, so that's that one. Again, it's just chromatically, means 1 fret at a time down there. Just keep doing the same picking thing. You can do that, slide into it, hit it, and then hit the B. Okay, now if we do this together with breaking it up, it'd be and okay, so that's 2 different ways than the initial. Okay, so we got 3 of them now instead of maybe you just knew 1. Okay, so very cool that way. If you want, like I said before, if you play them double speed, you can run them together, like slowly. Okay, you just never stop with the whole thing going down chromatically. Okay, see how that works? So it's everything thrown together except for the initial one that we learned. Okay, so let's show you this one in A, just because I want you to remember how we found our way to these to begin with. Okay, you're always going to use the D chord thing. Okay, use your B string to find out where you're at. So make a D chord, move it all the way up to A. Again, use your B string to find out where A is going to be. If you remember at the double dots right here, that's a B string at a B note. So you just go backward 2 frets and that'll be your A. So you just move the D chord so it's up there. So you got 9, 10, 9. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you gotta love D chords, man. They do everything. Anyway, so we're here, and then we have to make a 7th out of it. So we just take it here, take where the note is, the A. We gotta take it backward 2 frets. Here's backward and invert it. Is what happens. So you end up with 9, 7, and 9. Okay. So you just made an A7 out of it. And then what do? Yes, we get rid of whatever's on the high E string. And then what do? We play that G and B string back and forth. Move it chromatically. The first time works out fine all by itself. Okay? Okay, so there's your whole thing there. And again, with a slide, it sounds great. And if you want to go down, stay right there to start the next one. Flatten it out when it comes to the A chord. That will look like a 1-finger thing. That's why when we were in E, it was still a 1-finger thing that looked like an A chord. Okay, again, so to run these by you again, way up here at 16 and 15 on the G and B. We're back in E, and we go down one time. Do it again for my sake. And down again. Okay, and now for the A, if we're in A, we're going to go up here because we're making an A7. And, you know, I'm doing it this way for those who just aren't to this point yet, making it easy on you, I hope. And so we had the A that looks like a D chord. Just invert it. And so you're at 9, 8, and 9. Get rid of the one that's on the high E. And we start our little boom da da boom da da. And then we get to start from there again. Or okay. Now if you're wanting to start with that chord or that progression and you don't want to go up here and do that original one, but you just want to start here. Okay, the one way to find out is if you go up here, your finger is going to be on the same fret, not on the same string, but that finger will be on the same fret as what the note is on your high E string. Okay, so right there is the A note. And I'm not playing it, I'm just right next to it on that string. So that lets you know we're in A, and you can go. to start way up here if you don't want. So you have 3 totally different ways you can do that. The one that I showed you at first, the in A would be if we were doing the A up here where it's the D shape. Okay, so the D, move it up to A again, but we don't have to worry about inverting it to a 7th. We just get rid of that finger and play the G string and the E string. Okay, slide it on up. And that's going to be putting your finger like this, cross over all 3 strings, the E, B, G strings. Hit the G string first, hammer on to the 6th fret, and then the high E string. Okay, again. Or. Okay, so that's the way we have that. So 3 different ways of doing those things. There are a lot more others. I'll let you figure those out. Just look for ways to play an E or an A or whatever and make a 7th out of it and see what that other note is. We'll already find out real quick. We'll do like a E7. So there's a 7th, which is a D. The other note is a B. So anywhere you can find a D and a B, here's a D and a B. So they can be done anywhere. Just analyze it for just a little bit, and it might be cool to do that sometime. Okay. Now, another thing I want to show you in the key of E, which I said was going to be like some little Led Zeppelin on A Whole Lot of Love, you know, the... Anyway, is actually a country version of this, or blues, or whatever you want to play here. So if you want the lick, I'm going to put my pick away for now, for just a second. It's going to be... And up to speed. Pretty cool. Okay. I guess for those of you who have to use a pick, okay, what we're going to be doing is we're going to do this E7 thing and slide up to it again, which is another reason I pulled these out. Okay, sliding from 2 and 1 on the B and G strings here. Okay. Okay, so slide it up and then hit the B string. Just slide down the G string, back down to the 2. Pull it off. Okay, so we got... Now we go to the 2 on the D. Flatten it out. On the G string 2, back to the D on 2. Now we're going to do the open G and hammer on to 1. Okay, so we have... Okay, pretty groovy. And I like to, you can do it or not, but actually accentuate this thing by hitting one more E note, 2nd fret, the D string. Okay, that's about half the speed. Okay, so again. One more time at that speed. love lick, but totally messed up, which is cool. You're like, what? Hear that? It's I think it's very cool. Okay, but the lick is, okay, so we're doing A string open, then we're hammering on first, hammering on second, and then hit the D string open, then hit the A string again that has the finger still on it, and then the D string again open, and then you hammer on first and second frets on the D string while the A string is still ringing. Okay? That's how fast it really is. Okay, so one more time on this whole thing, slowly. I like to hit the low E string at the end too. It just gives a certain something to it. Okay. Get my finger out of the way and it'll work. Okay, so that's that one. But at speed again. Let me get rid of my pick and I can do it faster. Okay, otherwise I'm just using my thumb and my first finger. Watch it real slow. Okay, so I'm doing a lot of pull offs and stuff like that, which means I'm not picking that much with over here. Okay, one more time cleaner for my sake, as well as anybody else's. And back up to speed. Isn't that cool? You could do that if you want to not have a cool thing going on. You can go. But it sounds cooler. Okay, folks. Hope you dug that. Thanks again to this axe, which was gifted to me by a friend of mine whose brother had passed away a few years back, and he wanted me to have this out of his brother's collection. So figure it's time to dust her off and play it again. Hope you guys enjoyed the licks. Sorry I was half asleep for some of them, but hopefully you got the point across. Just had to do something since I took a shower today. You know how that is. Maybe you don't. Okay, anyway, you guys stay groovy, live long and prosper, and yeah, all that stuff.